Hello again, most esteemed viewers. My name is Jekyllstein Gray, and today we are, I think, finishing up the final segment. We're finishing this story, this one story within the game. The story of white-haired girl and the Bestia. Here we've got these logos of two companies I've never heard of for this game, obviously. And yeah, hopefully I'll get my first achievement in this game that I've gotten in a long time. I'm going to turn it down a bit. Alright, inspection memories, aka load game. Ravenous hunger. Water. Water. I just need some water. Just some water. Ha! 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 Will they attack me again? No, if I ask. Do they look like they are open to requests? No, they tried to kill me. They almost killed me. They threw stones at me. They did more than that. Hose and knives and sticks and I don't know. Things I didn't even recognize. They hit me with them. They tried to kill me. They looked like they were going to kill me. I almost died. I'm on the verge of death even now. My throat is sore. It hurts. No. I don't feel pain anymore. It burns. Does it burn? I don't know anything. I'm so thirsty. Water. I just need water. Will they not give me any water? Why? Why not? Because I'm a bestia? Because I'm a beast. Because I don't need to live. Because I don't deserve to live. Are beasts meant to die? Am I meant to die? I'm thirsty. My stomach is probably empty too. I don't know anymore, but I'm hungry. So very hungry. Oh, yawn. I can't take it. Water. I just need water. Just some water. What must I do to get some water from that village? A well. I can find a well. There has to be a well. I know what that is. I know what a well is. What else do I know? Nothing. I have no memories. I have nothing. I'm a beast, a newborn beast. What is this? It's buried. It's red. It feels rough. Oh, is this the beginning? Is this where the maid meets him? There is something I know. I know this. This is mine. It must be. It's mine. I know this. It's mine. I know how to use it, how to touch it, how to hold it, how to swing it. I know what this is, what to do with it, what it's for. I know that with this I can I can find an equal footing with them. A beast. I'm a beast. Beasts are meant to be ridiculed, to be hated, to be resented, to die. But I want to live, which means I have only one option, only one way, only one. With this, I must overthrow those who tormented me. I can do that. Water and food. I can get that. I can get anything. Who could that be this time of night? Oh no. Who's there? You shouldn't answer. Oh, I think I do remember this. Probably a beggar or something. These are dangerous times. You're right. How unpleasant a world we live in. That we should have to fear for our lives in this little village. Unpleasant indeed. I hope things go back to how they used to be soon enough. You just don't give up. Who's there? You're not coming in without identifying yourself. This is rather strange. What's going on, Dad? Oh, did the noise wake you? There's nothing to worry about, son. Go back to bed. It'll quiet down soon. The door, huh? What? Mom? Oh, crap. Robbie, look away! Why is the bestia? Ron, you hear me? Go out the back door and let everyone know. Shout as loud as you. What's going on? Why there's one? Why? It can't be. What the heck? Come on, Dad. Bestia. What? Why would you? And the cycle of violence continues. Sooner or later, the chain has to break. What's the matter? You sound like you're in pain. Would you like me to fetch you some water? Water! Don't touch me! Keep your hands off me! Not a particularly restful sleep, I take it. You! Where are you hiding? Why did you disappear? You were always around before. Show yourself! Show yourself immediately! Where are you? Show yourself! And if I did, what would you do then? Kill me? You thirst for blood to instill fear to live. In the face of your desire, others' lives are meaningless. That's the kind of man you are. Or, do you intend to pretend that you never did anything of this sort? Is that something the maid would say? Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I couldn't help it. I wanted to live. I didn't want to die. Yes, yes, indeed. That's the kind of man you are. You'll kill for your own sake. You'll kill a child's mother and father as he stands there watching. They tried to kill me first! All of them! The entire village! Calm yourself. Who are you speaking to? Please get a hold of yourself. Silence! Stop talking! Keep your hands off me! I'll kill you too! I'm a beast! Who will kill anyone? Calm down. It's alright. Everything's alright. It's alright. I'm a beast. Beasts kill, and so I kill. Breathe slower. I will not harm you, and you will not harm me. It's alright. Put your arms around me. See for yourself, and I'm not afraid of you. This is brilliant. What are you clinging on to this woman for? Is that the only way you can maintain your grip on yourself? It would be so much easier if you simply accepted the fact that you're a beast. You've always been one, haven't you? Can a beast cultivate love like a human? Weep in sorrow like a human? No, they cannot. It's utterly ridiculous. Shut up, shut up, shut up! It's alright, I'm right here, I'm right here. Can I trust you? Of course. This little facade will be over soon enough. It will end at the woman's hands, because that's what she's here for. To crush your soul into tiny pieces. Interesting. Is she just gonna go and kill every single generation of manor residents? We met 3 years ago. Thought for sure I would get burnt, sitting beneath that hellishly pounding sun on the sweltering summer day. It's only ever on days such as those. Is this Pauline narrating? I don't know. It's only ever on days such as those that we end up having lunch outside. Not just out of the house, literally outside. The heat was searing. I could hear the cry of seagulls from the restaurant's terrace. I remember that day as clear as crystal. Yep. Ah, yes, I have to say, the food here is spectacular. And I love that they give you so much meat. Though I thought my gut would explode the first time I saw it. Wouldn't you say, son? Indeed, yes, it is. By the look on your face, say you're already feeling it. You're not gonna make it in this line of work without a big old stomach, son. I'm a huge fan of this country's food. One taste and you never forget it. I'd like to bring the entire cuisine back with me if I could. I mean, if you're British, then I suppose any cuisine would seem like an improvement. And, yay, I did an overly generic British food joke. This is the first time we've seen you in how long, and you're talking about food? First thing you asked when you arrived was, is the restaurant by the seaside still open, for goodness sakes? Is your heart made out of stone? What, would you prefer we discuss the mundane? Why don't we talk about market developments and our spices inventory? That's not what I meant. It's hot. My parents' relationship is on thin ice, but the air feels like it's on fire. It's much too hot. My dad loves the seaside restaurant and actually specializes in fish, but he always asks for meat. Though always isn't very often. He's out of the country most of the time, so we rarely eat together as a family. For that reason, I can usually put up with a little heat for a family gathering. Today, however, is awkward. Go on, son, dig in. You can't find food this good back home. As you say, every course the table is lined with meat, meat, meat. Even I'm starting to feel heavy in the gut. At this rate, I might turn into meat myself. What kind of meat would I turn into, though? Those are the real deep questions, aren't they, esteemed viewers? I guess beef, maybe, if the meal keeps on like this. Just how much food are you planning to order? Can't believe you. Why did I ever marry you? Come now, we're out as a family. You could stand to be a little more pleasant. And who do you think is making me unpleasant? Now. From time to time, our eyes meet, but every time they do, we both avert our gaze. This goes on throughout the meal. My father invited him to lunch. Dad introduced him as his right hand, so I assume he's also a traitor. His eyes are somewhat narrow, his posture perfectly upright. He looks very no-nonsense and not especially affable. Frankly, he kind of scares me. Are we going anywhere after lunch? I figured since we're all together, maybe we could take a walk or visit someplace out of town. Yes. Actually, I got a letter to write after this. A letter to one of the bigwigs back home. So I'm planning to head straight back to the trading post. Oh, okay. Can't say I'm especially surprised. What do you want me to do? It's work, and it has to be done. If I could get an audience with him in person, maybe this wouldn't be necessary, but that's not possible. So I have no choice but to write a long, long letter. Oh, yes, Pauline. If you're going on a walk, bring him along. Yeah, hey, Pauline's dad? You know that would be a better compliment if the first thing that would be a better, that would sit better with them if the first thing you didn't say after years or months or years away from your wife and daughter is that restaurant still open? Anyway, bring him along. I'm sure he's tired of putting up with me day in and day out. What? Oh no, hold on now. Could you please leave Pauline out of this? She has things she needs to do too. What's the big deal? You want to know about an area? Ask someone who lives there. That's the best way to learn. Besides, you'll stick out like a sore thumb wandering around on your own, son. But I couldn't, you don't mind, do you, Pauline? Not at all. God, you are the most inconsiderate man, Mom says, and then leads into whispers to me. Listen to me, do not let your guard down around a foreign man. My father is, as a matter of fact, a foreigner. And the man he brought to lunch is from the same country. This is a park. Indeed it is. It is a park. My assignment is to show this man around town is, to be honest, going quite horribly. This is a park? No, just no. Couldn't you come up with anything better, Pauline? I don't know anything about the history of this park. In fact, I don't know much of anything about this town's history. I just sort of walk around every day, not really paying it much mind. Wouldn't someone more knowledgeable make a better guide? I can't do it. Don't ask this of me. Also, he doesn't talk very much. He's got this perpetually stern look on his face. He really does scare me. I wonder if people see me like this guy sometimes, because I do. I have been working on, like, when I go outside, I have this kind of, like, resting scowl. And I'm like, maybe just ease up the face a bit, Anyway. Don't worry, Mom. Your daughter won't mistakenly fall for a foreigner. Yeah, no. At any rate, regardless of how I feel, I am still technically his guide. I gotta try a little harder. Though I know it won't be easy. And then, there's a fountain. There is indeed a fountain. There's a fountain again. No, seriously, Pauline? He has eyes. I'm sorry. I'm not much of a guide. Maybe your dad can show you around instead. No, don't worry about it. I think you're doing just fine. In fact, I'm sorry I got roped into this. I doubt you much enjoy having to walk around town beside, someone like me. What? No, that's not it at all. Oh, is that so? I'm glad to hear it. Here's an idea. Rather than guide me, how about this? Why don't you show me what you usually do, the places you normally go? Do you really want to see that? I'd prefer to see the town through the eyes of a resident. See it for what it is instead of what makes good sightseeing. Smart guy. Alright then, I often get ham sandwiches from the shops near here. Having lunch on the wall by the fountain is the most wonderful thing. Look over there. See the butcher shop and the bakery next to it? I buy bread from the bakery, bring it to the butcher, get a few slices of ham, and put it on the bread. A lot of B words in that sentence. It's absolutely to die for. But you just had a huge lunch. I'm not getting one right now. Also, please don't think I'm as carnivorous as my dad. Sorry, I didn't mean to imply any such thing. Jeez. Wait, hold on. Did he just smile? He did. It was a small one, but he did. He can actually smile. Besides being human, that should be obvious. It's kind of strange seeing him do it. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to get along even just a little bit. Do you mind if I ask you a question? Sure, go right ahead. Could you tell me about your home country? I've asked Dad, but he won't tell me very much. Come on, how about it? I'm really curious. He probably doesn't know very much himself. What, about his own homeland? Some don't. How about that fountain? I'd like to get a closer look at it. At the spot you say you like to sit. Okay. What was that just now? Did he dodge my question? Is there something he doesn't want to get into? From this angle, it looks like the fountain's sitting atop the ocean. Oh yeah, it does. If you want, we can go to the beach. It's a straight walk from here. No, I like this view. The sea's a pretty color here. You can clearly see the white of the fountain upon it. The sea's a different color than the fountain? It is. In fact, the sea is often changing colors itself, but out on the water it can be easy to overlook. It can be the color of emeralds, or deep blue like sapphire, or almost black like obsidian. The sea has a face, and with it, many expressions. Huh. I'd like to see that. Maybe I'll ask Dad and get him to take me out on his ship. You have quite the adventurous spirit. Not many women say they want to ride a ship. You think? I want to go everywhere I haven't been before. Yeah, that's, you're never going to finish, but, you know, in pursuit of that unfinishable goal, you are going to have some really cool experiences, so. I want to see for myself what the world extends beyond this town. Ah, that's a fine ambition. I'm someone who has been flying on airplanes for as long as I can remember. I can't remember the first time I was on a plane. So, I've been all over the world, and, I don't know. I can see the appeal of staying in one place, but I can also see why people who have lived in one town their whole life want to leave. He actually smiles quite a bit, I guess, and we seem to be talking pretty comfortably, too. He's a lot more friendly than he looks. He appears almost noble the way he looks out at the sea, his gaze steadfast and unwavering. Oh dear, that was close. He almost deceived me. He's a foreign man, and I'm simply his guide. You mustn't think you've grown close to him just because you were able to hold a brief conversation. By the way, pardon me, yes? That outfit you're wearing. What, this? Oh yes, it's absolutely splendid. My dad brought it back for me. It's a peculiar design with unusual accessories. The moment I saw it, I said, oh my, I said. It's so pretty, I want to show it off to everyone. I see. Oh, it's just so magnificent. He actually has a decent eye for clothing. I guess he has more in that head of his than meat. Actually, I brought back that outfit. Huh? When I heard I was going to meet my boss's daughter, I thought it would be best if I brought some kind of gift. So I had a tailor imitate the style of my homeland. I'm delighted it's to your liking. What? Hold on a second. Yes? So you're saying these clothes I'm fawning over were given to me by you, and you had them made for me? Indeed. And completely oblivious, here I am wearing them now. More precisely, you've been wearing them since lunch. Why didn't you say something before? This is humiliating. I want to bury my head in the sand, but I thought you liked them. I do indeed, but having never met you, I wasn't sure what colors you liked, but I'm relieved to see you wearing them. They look nice on you. He says with a smile. He's always standing up perfectly straight, always looking stern and no nonsense, and he kind of scares me. But he's a gentleman. I'm going to go change. What? I'm going to go change. I'll be right back in 5 seconds, so just wait there. 5 seconds is infeasible. Okay, I'm really relating with the merchant now. Oh God, help me, Bob. I really, really need your help, because my heart just skipped a beat for a foreign man. Oh, is that so? Very well then. Oh no, thank you for the information. I really appreciate it. And don't worry about me. I'll keep safe. Goodbye. Shortly before I arrived at the village, a beast appeared. It killed a number of villagers and then disappeared. Ever since then, the village hasn't been itself. There's a cloud of gloom hovering over it, fear visible in everyone's eyes. At first, I thought their fear was that of the beast returning, but that's not quite right. Their troubles with the beast are, in fact, still ongoing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, here's Freaky McFreaker's face. Oh, Jobby. Hey, I hear you were asking around about the beast. I'm really glad he is in that deadpan expression. Don't smile. Don't ever smile again, Jobby. I don't think my soul can take it. The beast is taboo. People are going to push you way even harder now. Though I guess you are leaving in a few days. People are going missing. Your beast problem is still going on, isn't it? After asking around and beginning to piece things together, when the beast first appeared, you chased it away. However, later, the beast came back killing villagers. The beast disappeared, but villagers began disappearing too. Once a week, someone would just be gone. And even as the weeks passed, none of them ever returned. The people of the village think the beast is responsible. They think it's kidnapping villagers. That's right. This village is under the beast's curse. So you're better off forgetting about this place and the savage beast that dwells nearby. You don't belong in a place like this. Go back to your hometown where it's peaceful. That's the kind of life you deserve. Javi. What? I want you to be honest with me about something. Where does... I won't tell you. Why not? They told me that you know where the beast is, Javi. I heard from the other villagers that you once chased the beast. Sure you didn't mishear them? No, I'm positive. You know where the beast ran off to, where its hideaway is. You chased after it, found its den. And then you came back. That's what I heard. Didn't you? Why did you keep that from me? When you told me about the beast, I asked you to tell me everything you knew, Javi. But you brushed me off, said you didn't know anything. Said that I should talk to someone else. When in reality, you knew more about it than anyone else. Tell me why? Why did you hide that from me? What were you thinking? As you watched me frantically asking around the village for more information. Were you enjoying yourself? Tell me, why are you always so mean to me? Shut the hell up! I could tell you. I could actually tell you that. What did the village tell you about me? Did it go something like this? That the kid couldn't even take revenge for his parents? That he's a damn coward? I'm sure you heard that one plenty from everyone, and now you think that I'm a coward too. I don't... Yeah, it's true I went after the beast. I chased it down the night it killed my parents. Hiding around back, I saw it slipping in the forest. So I went after it, chasing it until it reached its den. I despised that beastia with everything I had. It murdered my mom and dad. It murdered my friends, the kindly priest, every decent person in town. I needed to get revenge for what it had done. It was my duty to bring retribution upon the beast that stole everything from me. So I tried to confront the beastia, but I couldn't do it. Not only could I not stand up to it, as soon as it turned around and I saw its eyes, its bloodshot eyes and black irises, I couldn't move. Ravi. Yeah, that's right, I was a coward. Watched it as it killed my parents, even followed it home. Yeah, you're like half your parents' size, and it tore through them like tissue paper. He tore through them like tissue paper. Like, you couldn't do anything. Yeah, you literally physically could not do anything. He would have like killed you easier. I mean, that doesn't make you a coward. If the beast really was that terrifying, I was supposed to stand up to it. So the rest of the village would have wanted someone to eradicate the beastia. When I came back having accomplished nothing, everyone was so harsh. You coward. What did you even go out there for? Constant ridicule. What right did they have to? If they really want him gone, they could all go together, and no one's got that kind of courage left. They're all waiting for someone else to speak up. Someone to stand up and say, let's go kill the beast. And I'm just picturing someone like calling Gaston. You're like, hey, can you like rile up some angry villagers, please? It was the guts to take that initiative. It could have been me, but the moment I fled back to the village in fear, I lost that qualification. You think that was just me being mean? Huh? I didn't tell you where the beast dwells. You think that was just me harassing you? I've seen the beast. I know how scary it is. I know how dangerous it is. You think I'd tell you where it is? I know good and well what you're thinking. The guy you're looking for might have been taken by him, and you want to go to its den and see if he's there. Knowing that, do you really think I'd tell you? If you go, it'll kill you. You don't have any evidence anyway. I just had a random thought. like, how many words is this game? How long is it in terms of, average playtime or whatever, but how many words are there? How many words are written? Because this, I'm wondering, how much this would stack up against other novels, anyway. Nothing that points to that guy being taken by a beast, but you don't need to put your life on the line for something like that. Something so uncertain. Even if by some chance he was taken by the beast, there's no way he'd be alive. That's what the beast does. No one comes back alive. But you came back alive, Javi. Which means there's no saying for sure either way. It's just because I ran away immediately, but even if you did manage to escape, that's all the more reason not to check the beast's den. I want to know for sure whether he's alive or dead. Somewhere in a little corner of my heart, part of me thinks he might just actually be dead. I have to have faith. I'm so close to cracking to think he won't ever come back to me. And so I'm wondering, did the beast not notice Javi? Did Javi run away and he was like, yeah, that's no effort? Or was the beast like, fuck, that's the kid of the people I murdered. I don't want to kill him too. All three of those are kind of plausible considering, depending on the state the beast was in at the time. Why don't you just give up on him without knowing for sure I can't let go? I'll debate with myself forever until I die an old lady about whether or not he's still alive. That's how my life will end. You want closure. You want to know for sure whether he's alive or dead, right? And even if he is dead, you'll be satisfied just knowing it? Right. Just why I want to at least follow any possible leads. There might not be anything saying he's there, but it is true that the remains of the ship he was on washed up in this village. If he wandered the area and ended up at the beast's den where he was killed, then I'll let go. So please, Javi, tell me where the beast dwells. Make this the last time, huh? Even if you find no trace of him at the beast's den, even if you don't figure out whether he's alive or dead, you'll give up on your search for him. You'll assume he's dead. If you don't reach some conclusion, you'll just keep searching, keep going to dangerous places, keep putting yourself at risk. I want you to stop that. Stop, go back to your town and live a normal life. Settle on an answer. If you can promise me that, I'll tell you where the beast's den is. Okay, I promise. This will be the last place I look. 2 more things. First, I'm going with you. What? But I thought, isn't it dangerous? Exactly, I can't let you go alone. Javi, I have to go with you and make sure you don't do anything stupid. Alright, fine. And the other one is, you will not enter the den. You don't understand just how dangerous the beast is. It knows no mercy. It indiscriminately attacks any human it sees, so you can't let the beast find you. You just examine the den from the outside, and when you're done, back to the village. Understood? You need to promise me this. Okay. Alright, one more thing. Huh? I thought it was just 2 things. This is less of a promise and more something that would be nice. I decided when we make it back to the village, I actually would like if you could take me to your hometown. Javi. I'll figure out some way to get permission. I'll do my best not to be a burden on you. I'm still just a kid. There's not a whole lot I can do, even in a better place. But I'm surprisingly skilled with my hands. Good skill for a ship. If you have work for me, I'll do anything. So there's that. Yes, of course I will. We'll go back to my home together and I'll show you around. 10 to 1, both these people die. I'm just saying it here. You can get some great ham sandwiches there. We'll eat them together in the park. You told me that already. Are you ever not hungry, lady? Oh, you laughed. You just laughed, Javi. Oh my God, it's the face again. At least, it's not smiling, so it's at least there's not an uncanny factor there. Whoa, back off! I did not laugh. Nope, you definitely laughed. You're kind of cute when you laugh, Javi. Come on, do it again. Go on like this. Shut up! Stay back! Stop it! Don't touch my cheeks. I wanted to see it again. I am not your plaything. Anyway, we set out tomorrow. We will return before it gets dark, and you will keep your promises, and you will not do anything dangerous. Got it? Promise. Thank you, Javi. I don't need your thanks. Thank you. That thank you is not for him agreeing to tell me where the beast's den is, because I can see that Javi's trying to save me. His care calms the turbulent waves that have been crashing inside me. I was always anxious. I always believed. I always thought I'd see him again. But I also recognized that I was practically living in a fantasy. I was just too stubborn to admit it. I certainly won't be able to change how I feel immediately. That's understandable. I'll probably continue loving him. Nevertheless, Javi's words resonated comfortingly with me. I can see, but vaguely, a new path, a new way of life appearing before me. That's what he did for me. I will make this the last time. My final attempt to find him. No matter the outcome, I will stop stubbornly believing he's alive. And then I'll find happiness on a different path. Alright. I think that I should have loaded my recent save, the one oh yeah, she saw me staring off into space there. Ooh, why isn't she seeing this? Anyway, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Oh well. Oh yeah, I should have loaded my save from 2019 to see where exactly the point of no return would be. The point of no return. Because right now I think I've passed it. Anyway, the point. I keep saying point of no return. The point of where it's the point where I haven't experienced any further. Anyway, oh, you have awakened. You gave me quite the startle. Do you not remember? You suddenly started staring off into the distance, and you would not respond to anything I said. I thought you were playing a prank on me. Your hand? Oh yes, I did not let go of it. For if I had, we would be in quite the predicament. Someone approaching the mansion, you say? You saw them? Those images were not shown to you by me. saw something, then it was by your own powers. Wait, I got superpowers? Nice. I'm gonna turn it down a bit. You should, in all actuality, be able to do anything I can do by yourself. So it is very possible you could have knowledge I do not. Now let us return to the mansion's tale. After the second beast paid a visit, Beastia began to destabilize again. The white-haired girl could soothe his heart, but the calm was only ephemeral. It was like a cracked glass ball. If you dropped him, that would be the end. If you put too much force into handling him, he would shatter. It was very difficult to care for. And cracks do not heal. The damage still remains even if the two sides appear to be held together firmly in place. Furthermore, they slowly, gradually, and without intervention spread. The beast appeared to be afraid of someone's voice. He would on occasion stare into empty space and shout, cover his ears, and groan. One day he shattered all the windows in the mansion, crushed the silverware I had just polished to a shine, and destroyed all the mirrors. I assumed he didn't want to see his beastly self. More! There's more! There's still more that reflects my image! Windows! Mirrors! Vases! Dishes! They all show my reflection! What are you doing? I have no need of anything that reflects me. You understand that, can't you? Why? You're going to cut your hands like that. Tracing the wall with her fingers, the white-haired girl approached Beastia. She stretched her spindly fingers out towards the beast's rugged hands. His hands were wet with blood from his frenzied attempt to destroy anything reflective in the house. Look at all these cuts. Stop! You're going to dirty your hands. Get back! No, I will not. It's no use. No matter how many times you call me human, the mirrors tell another story. Not just the mirrors. Everything reflective shouts beast at me angrily. Look at how precarious I am. It's hideous. Pitiful. I thought it was all over when I protected you from the beast. But that image keeps coming back to me. The sight of another beast clinging onto me. I can hear its voice. It says I was only ever a beast. Voice? Whose voice? So you don't know. So you can't hear it. You are fighting against something beyond the limits of my perception. Fighting? No. No, if only it were a fight. It speaks the undeniable truth. As I have said before, you are not a beast. You look like me. I am certain of it. Your eyes. What? Your red eyes. They show you nothing, but they show me what I am. They show me the difference between us. Are you afraid of my eyes? If my eyes cause you fear, if you can see them in your reflection, then you are welcome to destroy them. Jesus Christ, lady. Okay, are you sure you don't have anything better to be doing? Jesus Christ, like, it's admirable that you want to help this guy, but, like, I don't know. Maybe offering to let him gouge out your eyes is not... Anyway, put them from me with your own hands. Now I'm having flashbacks to that death in Game of Thrones. You know which one, if you've seen the show, seen viewers. I'm still not over it. Rip them from me with your own hands. I have no need of them, after all. Why would you go so far for me? The voice says that you're laughing at me, that deep down you ridicule me. Do you believe that? After all the time we spent together, I don't know. I'm starting to lose confidence. I believe you. I think I believe you. But I find myself wavering. I'm losing sight of myself and of you, of everything. In all my memories, I am a beast. The voice says I was always this way. Which I suppose means I am a beast. I can't be anything but. Do not trust the voice. Trust me instead. I do not want to make another mistake. Do something like run away because I am so weak-willed. Do not understand this woman. She's so pure-hearted, so beautiful, like hope personified. I want to understand. To believe her. I was sure that I could do it, but I keep failing! Why? Why am I losing my grip on everything? Are words not enough to convince you? What? Are words not enough to convince you that you are not a beast? And see for yourself. Feel for yourself. There's but one difference between us. What? What are you doing? I assume our skin, our hair, and our eyes are different colors. Those do not count as a difference. The only difference between us is our sex. Hold on. In his utter shock, Beastie was frozen in place, and he was right to be surprised. The sound of rustling fabric shook the air in the forlorn mansion. I might need to watch my words carefully. This video might get deleted by YouTube. We're long. She was standing there completely undressed. Her body was incomparably beautiful. Yeah, okay. She conforms to conventional beauty standards. Cool. Impressive, almost divine. Even I guess, when I saw her. That was the first time Beastie had seen the white-haired girl unclothed. Though they slept in the same bed, as I said before, they did not have a physical relationship. She grasped his unmoving hand and guided it towards her. She moved his hand across her flesh, along the curve of her shoulder, down her arm, and pressed it against her chest firmly enough for him to feel her beating heart. Do you think this caused a stirring within him? Is there any man for whom the touch of a woman's skin would not? I mean, there's gay men and asexual men. But I'm assuming that, the maid doesn't know about, those people because, Victorian times. Especially one so beautiful as her. However, he was not aroused. Why do you think that was? Because a beast cannot lust after a human? I believe you know the answer. Are you crying? Could you smile for me? What? I want to see your smile like this. I'm not sure I'm doing a good job. No, you're doing fine. Smile. It's so pretty. It calms me, warms my heart. I think I know someone, somewhere, who has that same smile. Interesting. Thank you for seeing me off. Don't mention it. I know so much about this town thanks to you. You made my stay here quite enjoyable. What's the matter? You're looking rather glum. I wonder why the sea exists. I was born in the port town. It's always been there for me. This huge, never-ending, expansive, magnificent ocean. Far too big for a single measly little human like me to cross. It's so pretty. It is. I feel like I understand why you like the sea. Because I see a lot in this guy, and because he's a merchant, I'm just going to assume he's Phoenician. But, just to be clear, PH, not V. Phoenician. My real name is a Phoenician name. But right now, I can't help but wondering why God created such an enormous sea. Why he didn't make the world smaller? I'm sorry, I'm talking nonsense. Not at all. I'll probably be back eventually. It's just part of the job. Will you have lunch at the seaside restaurant again? Quite likely. And I bet it'll be mostly meat, too. Was your stomach able to handle it? I'll train up for next time. Your ship is going to embark soon. Yeah. Will people get mad that you're not helping them prepare? Most likely. You should hurry off. Yeah. Pauline, I just wanted to thank you again. I appreciate you taking so much time to show me around. Is that all? No. I don't know why, but I was considering leaving without telling you this. I'd like you to tell me. I'd feel better if you turned me down. What? My homeland is only getting more isolated. I like your country. So as much as I want to pretend that he's Phoenician, I'm sure that's coming across, or it's not, but anyway. I've had people confused when I say Phoenician and Venetian before. They're actually pretty close to each other geographically, too, and they're both, trading, known for sea trade, which doesn't help. Different time periods, though. Anyway, so I think he's, getting more isolated, so it's pretty clearly, Japanese or Chinese, probably don't even have their patronage anymore. What I'm saying is that I have absolutely no stability. I can't even say for sure whether I'll be back, so you're right, there's nothing but obstacles. I'm sure my mom would be opposed as well, but I've fallen for you. The way you look staring out at the sea, the shape of your lips when you smile at me, the kindness in your voice, the more time I spend with you, the deeper I fall in love with you. The whole world would separate us, and those feelings would not change. Ain't no mountain high enough, etc., etc. Well, damn, you beat me to it. If I'd waited, I don't think you would have ever gotten into it. I'll say it myself, too. I love you, Pauline. I fell for you the moment I first saw you. I promise we will meet again. I promise I'll be waiting. Thank you. It's visible in both of our eyes. This love is strong enough to wash away all our tribulations. It's right there. It's all right there, plain as day in each of our eyes. Mine and his. Alrighty. Did you hear something? Oh, this isn't ominous at all, huh? It sounded like someone's voice. This might be the first. I don't feel like I've heard a new song from this game in a while. But this feels this. I think this is one. I didn't hear anything. Must have been your imagination. Oh, you want to turn back, lady? Huh? You're looking nervous. I'm just fine. Let's keep moving. Oh, but there is one thing. What? My name isn't Lady. It's Pauline. This again? Lady is so distant. I don't like being called that. So call me Pauline. Polly. How's that? Can I call you Polly? Oh, come on. I'd really rather you call me Pauline. I'm an only child, so I've always wanted a younger brother or sister. But Polly makes it sound like I'm the younger one. See, to me, it makes it sound like a parrot. I am not your brother, and I am not a child. You just said you are a child. Yeah, exactly. You called yourself a kid yesterday, though. That's not what I meant. Oh, fine. You can call me Polly. It's not my full name, but I'm glad you're calling me something other than Lady, Javi. Then that's what I'll do. Ah, you laughed. Be quiet. You're no fun. It's a mansion up ahead, standing atop the cliff. Can't say why exactly, but I feel like it's something that shouldn't be there. To me, she's the least relatable character. Because she, like, knows how to have fun and have healthy, kind of healthy, sometimes healthy, you know, thoughts, and anyway. Feels out of place in this area. Something seems off about it. Like, it's somehow ethereal. It could disappear at any moment. No, I'm probably just overthinking things. Sorry, that was stupid of me to say. It's okay. We still can't see the mansion Javi's talking about from here. There's dense, overgrown forest, but for some reason I can sense we're approaching it. It's a strange sensation. Anxiety is bubbling up from deep inside me. And at the same time, I feel like I could burst into tears. Not out of fear, but familiarity. Familiarity? I've never been to this country before. Everything I'm seeing is new to me. There's nothing at all for me to find familiar. Why then? I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you sure you want to do this? I am. You agree not to go inside. Don't break that promise. It's okay, don't worry. So I'm sorry for putting you through this, making you relive unpleasant memories. Thank you for accompanying me when you have nothing to gain from it. Don't worry, I'll just look around. I'm only searching for a sign he was here. And when I'm done, we'll return to the village together. Alright. Okay, now let's go. We push our way through the dark, dense woods, and then, like the world fading into view after a dream, a mansion appears before us. We're just quietly upon a cliff, against the backdrop of Emerald Ocean. This is the Beast's Den? It should, by all rights, be a magnificent scene, but the blue sky and jade sea clash with the building. It appears alone, isolated precariously from the rest of the world. Adjusting my seat. Yes, this is it. This is the mansion where the Beast dwells. Careful not to make any noise, we draw nearer to the house, this inexplicable structure sitting in between the forest and the cliff. The fluttering I feel in my heart does not seem to be caused only by fear of the beast. The weeds and plants growing unchecked around the house are tall enough for Javi to hide in. Imagine this is how he approached the mansion the first time. Looking at the overgrowth. Say, have the people of the village thought about leaving this area? Moving somewhere else, away from the beast's den? Only those with enough savings can do that. Live without money and you'll just die in a ditch somewhere. Everybody's made their lives here in the village. Yeah, that's capitalism. We have farmland, cattle, sheep. It's not easy to let all that go. Not everyone can just hop on a boat to another country like you, Polly. We're not wealthy. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I know, I was being too harsh. You're just ignorant. So naive that you believe the whole world is this perfect magical place. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. If you're capable of seeing the world like that, there's no reason you should look at it any other way. For as mature as you can be, Javi, you're also rather cynical. Well, yeah. Well, pardon me. When you said you would take me to your town, that kind of made my day. There's nothing left for me in this village. You'll find plenty of new things, I'm sure. You can even make some friends in my town. After all, you've still got a long life ahead of you, Javi. So you should make it a fun one. You make it sound like I'm about to throw myself off a cliff. I didn't mean it like that. We should try to keep quiet from here on out. Ah, okay, got it. As we draw closer to the mansion, I can see the ivy twisted across its stone walls. I press my back against the wall and take a few deep breaths. There's a window next to me. If there really is a beast, if there really is a terrible man-eating monster inside, I'm in danger if it catches me. Insert Simpsons meme here. Javi's eyes entreat me not to get any closer, but I have to see. I have to see if there's a mountain of corpses inside these walls. If there's even the slightest trace of him. I'm just going to have a look, peeking from outside without being noticed. That's all I'm going to do. When it's done, I'll go home. Through the window, I see a dimly illuminated hallway. Like the garden, the inside is desolate. But there's still the sense that someone lives here. It's not completely abandoned. Polly. Ah! I see something moving inside the mansion. I hold my breath so whatever it is there does not sense my presence, does not sense my gaze. And then... What? A shadow whisks past. No. Polly? Hey, Polly! Open up, please open the door! Stop it, you idiot! What do you think you're doing? Please open the door! Polly, you promised me! Have you lost your mind? The only thing in there is It's not a beast, huh? It's not a beast! A beast isn't living in this mansion! You're wrong! It is! There's a beast in there! A bestia! Get away from the door! The beast! It's not a beast! Open the door! Open the... Ah! I knew it! I was right! You're alive! You're alive! You're alive! I never stopped believing. I knew you wouldn't die. Would you... Yukimasa? I had faith you were still alive. I wanted to prove it. And I was right. I'm so glad I had faith. I'm so... Wait. Is the beast the merchant? Is this just a different merchant? So glad I didn't give up. I missed you so. All this time, I've never stopped thinking about you. Never stopped imagining our reunion. Yukimasa, I'm so glad you're alive. Stop it, Polly. Get away from him. That's... The beast! It was a... Wait, what? Oh, okay. So there's a reason he was all shadowy. They look really similar, coincidentally, though. I actually didn't think about how similar he looks to this guy. Hey, maybe there's a reason I found both him and the Beast relatable, because they're the same person. I actually was not expecting that. I will be honest, Steam viewers. I figured, you know, when I actually thought he was a literal beast, and when he killed, when he had sex with the white-haired girl, I was like, is this, I don't know, he might, that was the first time I thought, like, he might not be a beast. That might be why he's all shadowy and whatnot. Anyway, I'm trying to think about what else. You just won't understand. If I don't show you firsthand, you won't. So are these X's, was that like his language? But then what, like, why did people attack him? What? I'll kill you! Anyway, I don't know, I'm kind of in the analysis mode right now. This looks like something out of Phoenix Wright, to be honest. So now we're gonna, okay, this is cool. So what happened? He looks almost like a vampire. Like, look at those fangs. Weep and struggle and suffer and die! Look at this, no one can stand up to me. Humans have no chance against beasts! Oh no, so now he's in a love triangle. The love triangle of doom! Yukimasa, what's wrong? What? What's the matter? It's me, it's Pauline! I came to find you, I missed you so much! Yukimasa? I'm sorry, I still don't understand your language. Wait, where are you going? Stop it, Polly, don't go after him! There's something like that's just like, how stupid were the villagers? They saw this human person and thought he was a beast. Like, what happened? What's going on? I don't know. Now I'm in this weird headset space where I'm like, this probably would feel more, like, if I wasn't in analysis mode, if I wasn't, like, thinking through this and talking out loud and reading the voices and analyzing it, I might be more, like, caught off guard and surprised by this, you know, and you know, in case it wasn't obvious, I am definitely past the point of no return. Why are you running from me? Don't you recognize me? It's Pauline, your love. Or katana. Secret. I just keep thinking, two lovers, forbidden lovers, divided by their people. Or katana. Why would you point that at me? You're scaring me. What's gotten into you? Hey, what's the matter? Yukimasa, do you know who I am? What happened? You used to be able to speak my language so fluently. Let's talk. What do you say? Put that thing away, please. It's dangerous. Wait. Why? You cut me? Why did you... it's so hot. Why? I'm assuming the heat is like her blood. Like her warm blood. It's Pauline, open your eyes. I don't know. I don't want to like do the sound of a woman screaming because I'm worried it might be, sound weird because my voice is pretty low from what I've heard at least. I don't know. Stop, Yukimasa. Please stop this. And also, I just don't know how the screams sound like, so I'm like drawing from like... I keep thinking of Sam Raimi movies because there was a video I watched once that talked about like how many women scream in those movies. But not just Sam Raimi, like Hollywood stuff. Anyway, I'm begging you. Why? Why would you do this to me? Stop it, Yukimasa! Stop this! His blade held high above my head glimmers. Why? He's the beast. Tell me, Yukimasa, did you kill all those villagers? Are you gonna kill me? Why? Oh, this is like... This twist like recontextualizes a lot of the... Because it used to be like, oh, the villagers probably had some like, innate, like humans have an innate fear of predators. I've mentioned before a story about, my dad freaking out, like getting really startled during the tiger attack scene in Apocalypse Now. But I think that was in one of my Half-Life 2 videos. I don't want to repeat the whole thing here because I'm already on enough tangents as it is. But now it's just like now I'm much more like, again, like not justifying Yukimasa's murders, but like, wait, who was the other beast that he saw? Was it just like another random Japanese guy? Like what? Anyway, please stop. So like just this guy came in like looking really disheveled, and they immediately assumed he was a monster. I mean, so it's like Frankenstein's monster, kind of. Frankenstein's monster is at least very visibly not Homo sapien, It's me, it's Pauline. Please open your eyes. Let's back to my town. I never got the chance to ask. You wanted to move to my country. Oh no. No. And we wouldn't have to wait so long to see each other. What do you think, Yukimasa? Burn in hell! Why? Tell me why. Oh God. What happened here? I'm grateful that you cannot see, because you would certainly think me a beast if you were able to see this. Because you cannot see. You don't know what I look like, but I do know. It's funny because that too is like, I always, assumed, throughout these videos and during the just let me see it again. During my first playthrough that like, oh, she's blind, she's just like, oh, she's able to recognize his voice. But no, like, he's literally he's a Homo sapien, He is not just like a vague, we not just using humanity as terms for, again, sapient being worthy of respect and all that, but like a flesh and blood human person. It's like me broke into the mansion. Was it? I protected you. Oh, so she. So he's now, like, seeing... So the mansion is, like, fulfilling his wish, but in a different way, basically. But he doesn't want it to. I protected you, did I not? I protected you! Say that I protected you! That I did this for you! Actually a beast? Oh, man. I can hear a woman's voice. I can't keep my eyes open. I wonder who she is. They seem like they're really close. Did you choose someone else? Then you could have just said so. I wouldn't be angry. Apart for so long. No, but this does kind of hurt. Oh, this is Pauline. I can't take it. Just once. You turn back and say my name. I proved it. That you're still alive. We were lovers, weren't we? Yeah, you were. It's not. This is a misunderstanding. This is the worst kind. Why? You said you wanted a peaceful life. I can't take this. Oh. It hurts so bad. You, Kimasa. I can't take this. Is that the end? What I want most is to spend a nice, quiet life with you. Fuck. Don't need anything extravagant. This is a quote from earlier, right? It sounds familiar, but I can't remember exactly when it was said. Or, no, maybe not. I don't know. Just an ordinary life, slowly growing older, having 3, maybe 4 children. We never fight, and eventually, before I knew it, I mean, you would fight, but before I knew it, I'd be an old lady. Thinking, it was an uneventful life, but it was the best I could have asked for. And that's the life I want. What about you? Yes, I too wish for a peaceful life with you. Oh, God. Polly, I couldn't do... What is the matter? You look pale as a ghost. What? I lied to you? I have not told you a single falsehood. About the beast? That means you were seeing her memories then. Is that so? It must have been quite difficult to witness, but I assure you I have told you no lies. Beastia was convinced he was a beast. And as a servant of the house, it is my responsibility to present my former master to you as he saw himself. This would have been a very different story had you not discovered the truth. A beast meets a white-haired girl and learns humanity. A tale would have been far easier on you, I'm sure. By remaining in the dark and seeing the story through his eyes alone, you would not have had to witness the poor girl's miserable death. Perhaps would have been better for you. But the reality you observed through her eyes changes the truth of his tale. It sounds like the visions you had did not run in parallel to the events I described for you, but took place slightly earlier in time, which means that yes, her fate was set in stone well before you ever saw it. I do have to wonder, though, why did Beastia believe the woman to be a beast like him? Perhaps it was because her hair, eyes, and skin color were similar to his own. That was my initial thought. But I can't, that's such a loose premise, and also, I don't know. Well, she'll probably have an alternative explanation. Poor young woman who called upon the mansion did indeed resemble Beastia. They were of a similar race. Half of her blood was the same. Yeah, she's half East Asian. Was that the only reason? Would that be enough for him to mistake her for a beast? I have my own theory. His memories may have played a role. I suspect Beastia was afraid the memories from when he was quote-unquote human, because he was always human, would cause him to waver. But that is simply my own speculation. Perhaps he had merely lost his grip on reality. How well have you come to understand Beastia? You do appear to think he was an ordinary human who believed himself to be a beast. But where does the line between man and beast truly lie? Yeah, who is the monster and what makes a monster and what makes a man, etc., etc. Jesus, I cannot sing worth a damn. If, like Beastia, you were to lose your memories and endure persecution and degradation until you broke, would you still remember those you care for? Now our tale is not yet over. So am I going to be is my character going to be again, I think so, if I remember right, if I I can't remember how I know this, but if I remember right, the next one is going to be like actually Victorian times. It's going to be like, turn of the 20th century or a little before that or something, and then it's going to go back to like the 11th century. Anyway, now our tale is not yet over. The web of misfortune was so tightly entangled, could not be unraveled. Let us return now from our memories to the point we left off in our story. Just after the white-haired girl had disrobed, showing Bestia the difference between her and him. This was, several days following the young woman's death. Oh man, okay, so there's some weird Christopher Nolan time shenanigans going on here. The blood in the hall had been cleaned up, and there was no trace of it any longer. He had made a tremendous mistake. Though the only people aware of that mistake are you and I. There is perhaps a chance the white-haired girl had realized, but she knew nothing of the woman. So I entreat you to not fault the white-haired girl for trying to be kind to Bestia. I mean, I don't... she's without sin in any and all times. I mean, I don't blame her. I'm not accusing her or anything. I'm just like, Jesus! The beast, no, the man, made the white-haired girl put her clothes back on. He seemed to have calmed down a bit. After examining her body and comparing it with his own, he was once again coming to think he might not be a beast. But then, if he realizes that he's not a beast, he has to reconcile with all the murders he's done. It was for him then the seed of several new doubts. You said I am human, yes? Do you still believe this? I certainly do. You are simply mistaken. You believe yourself to be a beast because of what the villagers said. Why did they call me a beast? If I were able to see, I could surely answer all your questions. But I cannot, so all I can offer you is my conjecture. Go on, tell me. I suspect that you do not come from this country. No, you do not come from this continent. You came to this continent from far, far away, perhaps even across the seas. This land has been cast into turmoil by the war. Fortunately, no fighting reached the village, but it has blocked trade routes, stripped them of their independence, and cast a dark shadow over their hope. They are quite devastated, I imagine. Cycle of violence. And then you showed up. From what I have heard, this area is not particularly friendly to people from other countries, even less so from another continent. I doubt they know much about distant lands, so they probably have never seen someone like you before. But in addition, you would have been wearied and worn. I guess you were emaciated. Ooh, sorry. Wasting away. Enough so that you did not even look like yourself. Remember how you arrived at the village? When I woke up, I was on the beach. I don't remember anything before that. My joints all ached, and I was incredibly thirsty, and I was in so much pain. I sought help. But nothing I say got through to the villagers. I did not understand what they said either. But the one thing you did understand is that they were calling you Bestia, or Bestia, right? Right. And I also understood that the word was used to describe beasts. The way they looked at me, it wasn't normal, so I imagine at first they simply didn't want the trouble. They didn't actually think you were a beast. Simply that this wretched man, unfamiliar in appearance, who had washed ashore, resembled a beast. Washed ashore? You were in an accident, were you not? While crossing the sea. I do not remember. I can't remember. Did you hit his head or something? Oh, no, I mustn't remember. If I'm not a beast, that means the other beast wasn't one either. What did the beast look like? It looked somehow familiar to me. Its hair color, skin color, eye color. The way it spoke seemed vaguely familiar. Which means, oh wait, hold on. Was the second beast, the second beast, that was... I'm still trying to get, first it was the genealogy of the Rhodes family. And now it's the timeline of this. I'm like, so the second beast was actually what's her face? Pauline. There we go. Which means it was. I cannot accept that. If I do, that means I have done something terrible. No! What? They did call me a beast. I was in fact a beast. As I've been saying, that's because... Tell me I'm a beast! Please! Let me remain a beast! I'm kind of... my former roommate, back when we were roommates, once said to me, you're describing yourself like a monster. And I was like, I mean, that's kind of how I see myself, you know. Fortunately, I'm not a murderous monster. But I always see myself in the aliens, in the robots, in the monsters, you know, like never in the actual human characters. That's not true either, though. But that's a common thing, you know. How do you imagine you saw the world? I can't even begin to fathom. But you never know what someone else sees. There's nothing to say they see. There's nothing to say they see. Same thing as you. As you and I have seen different things, so too did the man and his lover see different things. Or perchance the true shape of the world is visible only through the white-haired girl's sightless eyes. This is also really postmodern. You think the reason he so stubbornly rejected his human memories is because he had taken the life of his beloved? I think that's definitely a huge part of it. Yeah, exactly. But I also agree with the maid here that she believes that there is more to it than that. So I'm surprised. I thought Pauline's death was gonna be the end of the story. Someday you shall remember. You shall remember everything. I will not allow you to avert your eyes. Remember that you have always been a beast, incapable of saving anyone, only of taking. Remember and suffer. Agonize, writhe, anguish, grieve, suffer. Such a damned shame. Our homeland is but a stone's throw away, and they still won't let us in. Just how long are they going to maintain this stance? Incredible, isn't it, son? Yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Captain Asama. We can make it this far on the white men's ship. They give no response to our missives. I'm not sure it's even reaching the magistrate's hand. Is it so difficult to be even the slightest bit accommodating to your fellow countrymen? They seem to be treating the white men rather poorly as well. I hear they imprisoned them on a tiny man-made island. Yeah, otherwise known as one of the very rare times where white men got treated poorly by non-white men. It's no way to make friends. Well, things considered, we can hardly call this our homeland anymore anyway. For how many generations has your family lived overseas again? I am the third. I see. And I doubt you have any attachment to this land. That's what he was... Oh, that's not true. I may never have the opportunity to set foot on her soil, but my spirit dwells within this land. My grandfather has told me much about this country, of her 4 rich, vibrant seasons and boundless beauty. I am deeply grateful that you invited me on this voyage to visit her, Captain Asama. I have finally, if only at a distance, laid eyes upon my home. I cannot say when this era may draw to a close. 1853. Spoiler alert for the history. It's 1853. But I hope the time comes when we can proudly proclaim her our motherland. We can't find food this good back home. I eagerly await the day that becomes true. Indeed, as do I. I've lied to her. She believes I was born. I'm not gonna say that it's wrong for the game to use this word, and I'm actually, I know that it's antiquated and a bit offensive. I'm not sure how offensive, like the measure of it, but it's from this game set in the 1700s. It's, I personally don't think, I personally don't think it doesn't. Okay, I shouldn't say I don't think it doesn't seem that bad for this game to use that. Here. If any East Asians who feel differently in the can let me know in the comments, and I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm just not gonna say it. But in truth, I have never once set foot in that country. I was born in Europe. My family has not been permitted to return since my grandparents left. I can still remember as clear as day that look of profound regret on my grandfather's face as he departed from this world. He bequeathed unto me a katana, and on that day the blade became the one object binding me to my homeland. I could not bring myself to tell her that I am disallowed to return home. I did not want her to think that I had been forsaken by my country, that my country would do such a thing. However, some part of me believes there is more to it than that. A smuggler? Yes, I never would have expected it, not on this ship. One of the crew was conspiring with a government official. He had unreported goods on board and delivered them in secret. What goods? Silver coins, Spanish coins, traded for more than their worth as currency. The official was sentenced to commit seppuku. Holy fuck! We are responsible for our own crew's punishment. I'm still trying to decide how to handle it. Have him commit seppuku as well. That sailor has brought shame upon the entire ship. Okay. I think that I'm like 95% sure this game is Japanese, so I'm not. But this feels like something, I don't know. Well, I mean, okay, it kind of reminds me of when I played, I need to actually still finish, when Rivers Were Trails. And I've been working so hard to, like, distance myself from the idea of Native American culture as being, as live with ancestor worship and spirits and all that. You know, that I was surprised that there was any of that in the game at all. And so I kind of feel like the same thing here. I've been trying to get my image of Japan away from, like, suicide rituals and the otter and all that, Bushido and all that, but like also those were aspects of it, but they might have been distorted. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going now. If he's made to take responsibility for his actions, then perhaps we can minimize the damage to our reputation. You make a fair point. Unfortunately, he's not of this land. I doubt he is familiar with the ritual. Then I shall serve as his second and ensure he dies without issue. Jesus Christ, Yukimasa. Have you lost your mind? I have been trained in the art. It is unlikely I should fail. You're not a samurai, though. I was born into a family of samurai. At least it was until 3 generations ago. But that blood still courses through my veins. Blood doesn't mean shit, dude. Very well, then. That is how we shall do it. We do now commence the ritual seppuku of our fellow crewman, Seedorf. Seedorf has, in violation of restrictions set in place by the shogunate, committed the grave crime of smuggling prohibited goods into the country. In order to atone for this betrayal of the trust of both nations, he vows to take his life here before you. Do you have any last words? I deeply regret that we should have to lose a companion with whom we have traveled the 7 seas in this manner. Do it. Wasn't me. What? It wasn't me! I've been set up! I didn't smuggle anything! I don't know anything about any silver coins! I've been framed! Believe me, why should I have to slice my own... Yukimasa! He said the accusations were false! Lies to escape punishment. I could not allow him to continue shaming himself and us when his fate was already decided. It would only serve to tarnish the ship's honor, but an investigation was performed. It was our duty to trust those results. You're right. Yes, you're right. Good work. Now this needs to be cleaned up. Yes, sir. I'm sure I was mistaken, but I'd like to ask you anyway. Were you smiling as you did it? You must have been seeing things. Ugh. Is that really the only reason? I couldn't bring myself to tell her the truth. Why were you so eager to kill this guy? What was that dream? Was that from my memories? No. Asuma? I've never met that man. Or that woman. No, I was. It was just, no, it wasn't me. I don't remember. I don't remember anything. Not a thing. Not a single thing. I'm a beast. Not a human. I don't need those memories. Are you there, white-haired girl? Are you there? Where are you? Come to me. Be with me. Peace. My peace. Where are you? Where have you gone? Why? Why are you not at my side? I don't remember. Don't remember anything. Stop remembering. It would be fun to like get a bunch of people to actually do a real dramatic reading of this, not just me reading everyone's lines and then acting Yukimasa's when he's in beast mode. Is that a silver coin? Spanish silver. Some weeks after we set off back west, I found a silver coin in the ship's hold. I don't know if it got overlooked or dropped when transporting the rest, but there's just one. The first thing I'd think when I find it is that I should report it to Captain Asuma. But instead, I slip the coin into my pocket and take my leave of the hold as if nothing ever happened. Is this like some Pirates of the Caribbean cursed gold shit? Actually, I have never seen, as of this recording, I have never seen a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. So, I don't know. Not for the purpose of smuggling it for some extra cash. It only has extra value in the East. Back West, it's worth nothing more than its designated value as currency. So again, it's number one of money. Well, damn. It seems Seedorf might have been innocent after all. Perhaps so. If he had no hand in the smuggling, then I've done a horribly regrettable thing. Nope. As you said, an investigation was conducted. We had no choice but to believe the information we were given. I'm sure he doesn't. I'm sure he's trying to convince himself of that. You mustn't blame yourself. I feel bad for putting such an unpleasant responsibility on you. Not at all. Now, how do we handle this? I can't believe a silver coin was found in someone else's luggage. It'd be best to handle this internally. Publicly, we've already made our amends with Seedorf's death. That's true. But it would be prudent to try and discover from where he is acquiring the coins, so as to prevent another such incident. Should one of our crew be caught smuggling again, he will not be the only one asked to take responsibility. Great sympathy for you, Captain Asuma. This is quite the headache. I can't imagine he would give up his connections just because we asked. We can force him. If he doesn't want to talk, then we can give him some encouragement. But I couldn't. Worry not, Captain Asuma. I shall take care of the dirty work. You needn't trouble yourself with anything, Captain. Leave it all to me. Captain. Very well. I leave this in your hands, Yukimasa. Yes, sir. How are you feeling? Hey, untie me! What is the meaning of this? A silver coin was discovered in your luggage. Huh? A silver coin? Interesting. It would seem you have quite a knack for acting. Hold on, I don't follow. I thought the smuggling problem was taken care of. Seedorf wasn't the one doing the smuggling. It was you. Like hell! I've never seen any damn silver coins. That was some kind of mistake. Check my bags again. A coin was found in your luggage, regrettably. Captain Asuma saw to himself. Why don't you just go and kill every crew member on this ship? What's your name? Yukimasa? Why don't you go kill everyone on the ship? And because then you're bound to get the smuggler eventually. Is that so? More like Yagami Masa? I don't know. I swear, never once. Please believe me, I'm no smuggler. I've done good work, even on this expedition. You know I'm not someone who would get involved in smuggling. Also, look, I don't know what kind of person anyone is. Yeah, that's a feeling I can relate to, but also, that means you probably shouldn't kill them for just, like, suspecting something. Also, maybe we shouldn't be executing people for smuggling. Just a thought. What kind of person anyone is. We may have known each other for years. That doesn't mean I have any way of knowing what you think in private, how you feel, what kind of person you are. You smuggled the coins, didn't you? I didn't. I had nothing to do with it. Who was your supplier? I'm telling you, I'm no smuggler. It puts Captain Asuma in a comfortable position if you don't talk. We can't risk damaging our homeland's trust any further. I swear to God, I had nothing to do with it, so you won't tell. How can I tell you something I know nothing about? I see. You believe me? So it's very, very important information. Enough that you can't give it up so easily. Yukimasa, torture does not work. In which case, I'll just do what I have to do until you talk. What? What are you? Ugh. Whatever you're ready to talk, let me know. I'll stop right away. Hey, stop. What are you? Quite the thick fingers you have. Let go. What are you? But it's all meat. Your bones aren't any thicker than any... Oh, God. My finger! Oh, don't start screaming just yet. Oh, so that was just the first. Your little finger. Next is your... Okay, stop this, like, Rorschach cosplay, Yukimasa. Please don't. I'm begging you. Are you ready to talk? I told you I don't know anything. Too bad. Ah! Your middle finger. Yukimasa, torture is a great way to get a false confession out of somebody. Ryan is going to be useless if you don't start talking soon. Ah! What do you want me to tell you? I swear it had nothing to do with it. Why is you so stubbornly refusing to talk? Is your supplier really worth going to such lengths to protect? No, I can't tell you what I don't know. That's... Ah! All that's left is just... Oh, what the fuck? So we're perfectly clear. Everyone on board knows what you did. No one's going to come to a smuggler's aid. God, I can't take any more of this. Please stop. Ready to talk? What will it be? I'll talk. He's innocent. Oh, I don't even want to. I can't even. I'm sorry, Steam viewers. I can't act this out. This is brutal. Like, what the fuck is going on with you, Yukimasa? You monster, yeah. First. Why are you smiling? Okay, well, this. What the fuck? I'm just like sitting, like, I literally have my jaw open, like. No, he knew you were going. He knew you were going to kill. He knew that you were going to kill him once you found out that he lied to you because he's innocent. I'm the one who put the coin in your luggage. Of course you don't. What the fuck, dude? What the fuck, Yukimasa? Now I'm like, why did I ever compare myself to this guy? Jesus Christ. Hey. Why? Small blade sunk its teeth deep into Cedar's neck. I don't know what to call it. Might I transform into this life I made slipping away from me? What exactly am I? Is this what I wanted to become? The kind of man who can take others out without function, fully aware of his actions? If that's truly what I am, perhaps it would make things easier if I did lose everything. This kind of, I actually wonder if this kind of feels. This is how I imagine it would have been like for people to read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde back when it was a twist that Jekyll and Hyde were the same person, you know, or rather, yeah, they were the same, but they're two different personas, you know, because now I'm like, because there's a similar format. You find out that they're the same person, and you're left with all these questions, you know, and then you find out those other questions get answered. Scary like that. Where did you pick up a word like ninjitiji? You sound so pretentious. Someone's like a rat. Oh, this is like some Sixth Sense shit. Holy fuck. I'm sorry. You just look so much like a rabbit there. The way you're tossing your head back and forth, looking around for me. Oh, you. Ninjinti. There's too many consonants. I'm not a little girl anymore. I'm sorry. Really, don't be so mad, Pauline. I'm not mad at all. It's been 1.5 years. We finally get to see each other again. That we do. Do you have any trouble out at sea? Did you fall ill or get caught in a storm or run into any kind of danger at all? No, there was no trouble. Everything went fine without incident. The sea god was watching over us, I suppose. I don't know. What am I? Who am I? Who? What is this room? What are those colored windows? Were those here before? In the mansion? I know what it is. It's an angel. The angel is looking at me and laughing. The angel is looking down on me and laughing. And he just broke a stained glass window. What are you doing? The angel is laughing at me. The angel! So the angel. You, where were you? I went to the kitchen to get a drink of water. Nothing to worry about. I will not run away from you. I am not human. Am I? I'm not a human. You are not a human. You are you. It's alright. I imagine it's quite disconcerting having lost your memories. No matter what happens, you will always be you. Don't be afraid. Are those the words of encouragement I truly wanted to hear? Am I afraid of being myself? I don't know. Don't think about it. I'm a beast. A beast with no memories! Man, this is actually... I keep thinking... This is kind of like the end of Return of the King. I keep thinking it's over, and then there's like another bit. His psyche drifted erratically between human and beast. If he accepted himself as human, it might cause memories better left buried to return to him. I can relate to that. Although, again, in my case, it's more painful memories, embarrassing memories, things that, feelings of ostracization and infantilization and pity and all that stuff. Not like the horrible crimes I committed. If he accepted himself as a beast in exchange for his memories, he would no longer be able to rejoin human society. The white-haired girl fervently supported him in these precarious times. I was quite amazed. I never imagined she would grow to be such a strong woman. Nevertheless, God is a cruel master. From what strength he gave her spiritually, he took an equal part from her physically. Though she persisted day in and day out to stay by the man's side, one day she suddenly fell ill. With her, and is she like an elf? Like, does she not, like, can she, like, die? Is she mortal but, like, doesn't age or whatever? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see if she's in the next one. With her in the throes of a high fever and not knowing the cause, he fell into a perpetual panic. There was no medicine in the mansion. They could hardly manage to put together sufficiently nutritious meals. There was no medicine. Maybe there was something else that could make her feel better. However, everything he could think of required him to leave the house. Hey. Is there anything you would like? Anything I would like? I'm considering visiting the village. I see, you're going to the village. I thought I might be able to get some medicine. I would prefer to bring a doctor here, but no one would come if they learned you were in this mansion. So, he was planning to put on a disguise to enter the village as a person. The white-haired girl smiled when she heard his idea. She had, after all, always wanted him to think of himself as human. However, because she was so pure-hearted, she did not comprehend the full extent of the slaughter he had confessed to committing. The revenge he had taken on those who chased him around. How sinister his cackling and furious his reaping. She did not grasp just how serious it was. She had faith the beastie had kindness in his heart. You cannot get any medication. Buy me some oranges, please. Oranges? This is a land blessed by the sun. You should be able to find some wonderful fresh oranges. That make you feel better? Yes, it should. Okay. I remember hearing once that there are parts of Ireland, and fact check me if I'm wrong, because this is like what some guy told me in a distant memory, but there are some parts of Ireland that have like palm trees, because it's right where the Gulf Stream hits Ireland. So maybe there are oranges there, but I can't imagine there would be other oranges in England. Mine would made up. He would don the skin of a human for her to protect the peace he had. He would return to the place that had left him with many painful memories. It was to him the source of his fear. Whenever he let his guard down, their shouts would play back in his mind. Bestia! 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 Hideous beast! Though he had physically conquered the people who lived there, Bestia's memories of the village still haunted him. But her health meant more to him than any of that. He was willing to cast aside his fears if it meant the white-haired girl would recover. The girl still in her bed, he made his way out of the mansion. He crossed the overgrown forest, pushing forward one step at a time, Beauty and the Beast flashbacks again, all the while trying to brush aside his apprehension, until he arrived at the village. This is where they called me a beast, where I was almost killed, and where I killed them. I look different than I did then. I'm dressed differently too, but can I play the part? Can I act a convincing enough human? I have no choice. There are no other villages. Can't let her die. Excuse me, could you answer a question for me? The village man is looking at me, only for a moment, but for me, that moment is torturously long. A faint look of panic crosses his face, perhaps in fear of my appearance. He's staring at me. Will he point his finger and call me a beast? Will the other villagers come to kill me? However, I haven't seen you around here before. You didn't recognize me. Yes, I come from a faraway land, and I am unfamiliar with this area, so... You're just like a nobleman. On a secret trip or something? Something like that. You look really pale, though. Searching for a doctor? Oh, yes, but not for me. My companion has come down with a fever. Sorry to hear it. Well, I'd love to introduce you, but he's out right now. And we won't be back for a few days. I see. And where might I be able to buy fruit? There's a shop just around that corner. Thank you very much. Don't mention it. Do take care, traveler. It's dangerous out there. Starting to attract attention, but not the same kind as before. They don't look at me with revulsion, hatred, or furious indignation. They're simply curious? The village feels different than last time. Could they have changed this drastically? Or is it because I really did look like a beast then, and now I look like a human? I don't know. Excuse me. Me? Yes? I would like to buy some fruit, some oranges. Oranges? Alrighty, just a sec. Fruit vendor doesn't recognize me as the beast either. Any other year, they'd be a lot plumper than this. This year, we've had the end of the war, and this whole mess with the beast, and it's just been crazy. If you'd like, how about you come back in a few years and try our oranges again? They'll be several times better, I assure you. I'll keep that in mind. You bet, that'll be... I'm sorry, I don't have any local currency. Would this suffice? What? How? Is no good, I take it? No, on the contrary. It's only fair for you, trading a jewel for a few oranges. That's all I have to offer. Hope we can exchange it for money. Sure, you nobles or something else. Noble. Aren't you? If you run around dressed too well, you put yourself in danger. You might find yourself stripped bare by a bandit, or perhaps even catch the attention of the beast. Now, for some reason now, I've switched from thinking of Beauty and the Beast to thinking of Over the Garden Wall. Beware the beast. Have you heard the tales? I have not. There's a beast den not too far from this village. It attacked before, and we've been living in fear, never known when it might attack again. But that all ends today. The men have finally found their spines. They all got together and went out to exterminate it. What? You'll never guess who's responsible. A kid! A little boy is spearheading the attack. Oh no. Never would have expected a little kid to whip all our lazy, cowardly men into shape. The boy's the only one who knows where the beast's den. Hold on. What about your oranges? The men have banded together. They're going to kill the beast? Why now? Why when I'm not there? I'm the beast. I'm right here. I'm what you're trying to hunt. The only person at the mansion right now is her. He regretted not asking the fruit vendor how long ago the party set off. Though what good would that knowledge have done him? He had to hurry back regardless. The sun was beginning to set, draping the surroundings in deep blackness. As if to keep him from returning home, the night wrapped its hands around its head, covering both his eyes. In what direction did he have to head to return to the mansion? He stormed through the forest, and eventually the mansion appeared before him, like the world fading into view after a dream. Bestia was a tempest in the night, blowing through the overgrowth towards the house. Please make it in time. I need her. I need the peace she provides me. The last thing I want is for her to die. Holy crap, this is still really fucking loud. In the blink of an eye, he was through the door, charging through the mansion's halls. He could not sense anyone else inside, though. All he could hear was the whoosh of the wind blowing into the house from somewhere. It seemed like a window was open. Where are you? Where have you gone? Answer me, please answer me! He cried out the girl's name again and again until his throat was sore and his voice hoarse, but she did not respond. He rushed into her bedchamber. Ha! Hey, hello? Where are you? Answer me! The man swung his head back and forth so hard he thought he might break his own neck. And then, when he made to look down, he slipped, falling on his tailbone. He felt something slick on his hand. A sensation even... Oh no, blood. The liquid was still warm. No! It cannot be. It cannot be! Muttering incomprehensibly in fear, he crawled back through the door of her chamber into the corridor. Like a genuine beast, he followed the trail of slippery fluid on all fours. The trail glimmered like red wine. Just down the hall, past the living room. That's the callback to the beginning of this stab chapter. Smeared across the floor like it had been wiped down with a mop. The man crawled until at last he reached the stairs leading down to the cellar. Hey, back to where we begin, full circle. The ruby trail continued. Hey, I remember this place too. From beyond the door, he could hear men's voices. First impression was that of the stench of blood was suffocating. Indeed, there he discovered the white-haired girl. He found himself unable to even scream. Her once porcelain skin was no longer even sickly pale. It was now the bloodless color of dirt. I can't read this either. It's not the same, it's him. Villagers surrounded by the behest of the young boy. He's gotten himself dressed all proper and fancy, but good clothes to make him a good man. Oh, isn't that right, you beastie? No! You murderer! Why? Why did you kill her? 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 Why? You want to know why? Her death was an accident, I'd say. I feel bad about what happened. But any woman who would live with a man like you must be a witch. Oh, fuck. Does that hurt? Are you hurting right now, you beastia? Then maybe now you understand! You not only stole my parents and friends from me, you ripped the last shard of hope I had in my hands. Do you get it? Do you finally understand how I feel? Now you know how it feels to have someone you care about taken from you. Pauline was desperately trying to find you. Why? Why would you kill someone so devoted to you? Do you understand what you've done? I'm asking you a question, you goddamn murderer! I see. And now, I have nothing left. What? Man stepped forward, almost perfectly calm. His panic had vanished as if it were never there. His eyes were disturbingly vacant. Perhaps the sorrow had overpowered him, beating his heart into quiet submission. No, that was not the case. Those eyes were empty. A faint smile spread across his lips. The transition was swift, as though a gear had switched in his mind. The boy and the other villagers were frozen in place at the sight. Before long, the man was standing before the deceased girl's body. Then he pulled the blade from her chest. I knew it. I really was a beast. And what I wanted was a tether. What are you yammering on about? Didn't you care about that woman? Didn't you choose her over Pauline? Who you then threw aside and butchered? What is wrong with you? What was she to you? She was my serenity. But she's dead now, and there's nothing I can do about that. Peace, calm, tranquility. The man's behavior was downright eerie, causing the boy to flinch back. Believing he had taken everything from him and could not possibly lose anything more was, I imagine, what allowed him to stand up to the beast, the source of such crippling fear. And now he found himself unable to move. He found himself in the face of such an incomprehensible creature, paralyzed with fear. The villagers were similarly dumbstruck. Not even I can understand his behavior. What the hell is wrong with you? How can you not? Because now he doesn't feel, now he doesn't feel torn. Now he's not trying to decide whether he's beast or human. Now he's just, I'm a beast, and conveniently, I'm a beast, therefore I'm not responsible for my actions, I don't get it. How indeed? I wonder myself. I don't know either. But you know what? It doesn't matter anymore. Because every last one of my anchors has broken off and sunken into the sea. Damn it, get moving, kill him! I keep thinking I hear someone calling me downstairs, and I'm really hoping people aren't worried about me. I did mention to them, I'll slaughter every last one of you! Ah, yes. My whole life, I've always wanted to kill! Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, that fucking face is gonna haunt me. Jesus fucking Christ. What was it that afflicted you with such madness? Losing your memory in the shipwreck? The abuse and insult you suffered at the villagers' hands? Or was it the grief of not being able to return to your homeland? No, none of us those were the root. You were always like this. You always bore those twisted desires. Well, you held those deep, constant urges to cause others harm. That was your essence. The real you was hidden beneath the mask of sincerity. The true beast was your heart. The beast was a convenient skin for you to wear. You wanted to be a brutal, savage murderer. You never really loved the white-haired girl, or the black-haired woman for that matter. You were merely attached to them. I don't know who's saying this here. I think that's like his voice. That's his voice. I don't think that's true. I think there is some truth. I think the question of when exactly did this start is super murky and interesting, and it probably didn't start with any of those. But I don't think it's like he's always secretly anyway. You use this piece to anchor yourself, to prevent you from drifting off into the ocean of your desires. You yearn to cause pain, while also hungering for the opposite, a calm life. You idolize this idealized life, spending in quiet harmony with another, because you knew just how difficult it would be for you to attain. Far more difficult for you than satisfying your cravings, but not impossible. I personally had hoped you would find peace with someone rather than descend into savagery. It may have only been superficial, but it would have been very human. Ultimately, peace slipped through your fingers, and no one was left to suppress your desires. You cannot, after all, hold them back yourself. What a tragic man. Who is saying this? What narrator is saying this? I'm very curious. Oh, there's the second achievement. Alright, I am going to save here to the next door. I'm going to go back to the entrance, but I don't think I'm going to do the outro yet, because I want that to be the end of this, because that is the end of that chapter. But there's a lot to unpack there. Because, well, yeah, he probably did have that streak in him. Like, I don't know. I keep like thinking. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I actually don't really like. I wish. Okay, I kind of wish they hadn't said the if you want to leave here as Steam viewers, that's totally fine, and obviously you don't need my permission anyway. But there's a lot I find interesting, and I'm struggling to like think about it. But I kind of wish the story was more interesting, and partly because it was more relatable to me, and that's one thing I like characters I see myself in, when it was, he saw himself as a monster that people, well, in this case, a murderer, a murderous beast. He saw himself as a beast, and then he killed, and then by that point he was trapped in a self-fulfilling cycle. I'm not sure I really like the, or I don't know, the like he always had it in him is like a good dramatic device in it, but I don't know. Part of me feels like the story would be stronger if it and more poignant and tragic if you just cut out the whole seppuku thing and the and all that, because you kind of couldn't you? There's not much in there that would change if you took it out anyway. But yeah, wow, that twist was really good, and again, kind of it's helpful for me. Again, it's now I don't have to think in abstract terms of there's a self-fulfilling prophecy if you've had some bad experiences when you were a kid because the handicapped man is a stranger in a strange land as a child, and there and that's causing a self-fulfilling prophecy where you think no one likes you. Now it's you're acting a bit like Yukimasa there, without the murdering. Your headspace is kind of Yukimasa like. Anyway, I don't know. I always love hearing your comments as Steam viewers, but in this case, I would also really like to hear. Well, first of all, if I'm making any sense at all, I'm not sure I am, but if I am, I would really like to hear your comments, or I can clarify more, and I just want to hear your thoughts, Steam viewers. So leave me a comment, and if you like the video, give it a like. Like this segue. If you like the video, give it a like. If you have something to say, let me know in the comments. Twitter, Letterboxd, and Nexus.gg links in the description down below. Subscribe and ring the bell if you want to be notified of future videos. What else? Other stuff, other YouTube stuff. You know what to do. Anyway, that'll be all for today, Steam viewers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later for more of the house in Fata Morgana. Goodbye.